Hey you guys, how you doing? How's it going? I don't know if any of you guys on here ever get out to Ypsilanti. I have hear that plane just put his flaps down. I don't even see him. A pretty good day today. Walking out in this park that's been around here forever. I photographed this place in the winter a long time ago. It's beautiful. I'll be uploading a 4K video later. But it's such a nice day, I wanted to show it to you. Yeah, it's nice. This is Ford Lake. There's a name to this park. For years, nobody came out here, even though they built these extensive wooden bridges. A lot of wildlife. You can get close to a lot of waterfowl. Beautiful hair you have there.
Gorgeous.
Hey Deb, I'm in Ypsilanti, Michigan. This is probably Ypsi Township. Yeah, I could be wrong on that. It could be Rawsonville Township. Right around there.
Hey, I see a duck.
Hi. Hey Stephanie, how you doing? If you ever go on 94 by Ypsilanti, the Huron Street exit, if you look to your south, you'll see these bridges from the expressway, and they're really beautiful, particularly in the winter when things are frozen. And it's such a nice day today, I thought I'd come out here and take a look at it. It's really quite a project. I mean, there has to be a mile of wooden walkway they built at least. I'm sure you're not going to get funding for anything like this now. It's a little in disrepair, but still very nice. A lot of these, for some reason, a lot of these willow trees have died, and I'd like to know why. They're old, but they're not that old. Hey, Air Cold, how you doing? Air Cold, do you ever get out here to Ypsi? You ever see these bridges on Ford Lake? You know, as you're about ready to get off, crossing the old Ford plant, you hear an exit going west. It's really a nice park. I came out here for not a lot, but when I did, I never saw anybody here, but they've kind of added more to it. Really a beautiful place, especially if you want to get some good photos of ducks and swans. This is it. Look at those are geese over there, and actually I'm not sure which geese those are. That's interesting. They're not domestic geese. They all look blue. I'll get up here, I'll get a good shot of them. Unless the sun's just hitting them funny, but I don't think so. What kind of ducks are those? Do you guys know?
Which kind?
Right over there.
Those over there?
Yeah.
Oh, there are ducks and not geese there? They're really big.
Yeah, they're big. Unless it's some kind of goose, but I don't really recognize them. There's a couple geese, but they're like blue tinted.
Yeah, I don't know. You're right. They look like them.
How are you?
Don't go close to the edge, so you could fall through those holes. Okay?
Into the wind.
Yeah, and we don't want to do that because that would be really traumatizing.
Yeah, it's very nice here. No, I don't think they're as big as one, Toledo. I don't know what they are. You know, the sun's really bright, and that may have changed things. And maybe if I saw them better, I would know. But I'm not really sure. They have they look like a domestic duck, but like gun blue tint. That's how I describe them. Hey, Sub Cub, how you doing? Were you able to get a hold of Sharon? I see she posted on here today, so she's pretty good at answering comments. Yeah, it's I'll give you the name of it. It's North something. I mean, for a long time there wasn't any name. I haven't been out here in like, God, I can't tell you how long. I mean, I've driven by it, but I haven't walked out here in probably 10 years. It's fantastic, I'll tell you that. If you like waterfall, you can get some great pictures of ducks and swans and geese. And they're obviously used to people, so you can get very close to them. This is the park, if you'd have kept going on 94 West, you would, it's right before the Huron exit. That's the old Ford plant right across the water. It looks really beautiful in the winter. See that lady over there I said hi to in the pink jacket? I got a better video of this 4K video when the sun was higher and I was walking the right way. This is a little dark, but it's not like, you know, super interesting or anything. But if you like this kind of stuff, you'll like a later upload. See, now that's the kind of upload that, you know, I'm like kind of so-so about. So I will start uploading that before I go to bed. When I get up in the morning, it'll be uploading all night long. So that's really why I took this video. I mean, some people really like this stuff. I know that when I upload these, not that many people are interested in it, but that's all right. They can just not watch it, you know. But these kind of videos, not too many people like that much. You know, I haven't been to Frog Island in a long time. I used to go to that Frog Island yearly deal they had, whatever they called it, Frog Island Summerfest or something. I was in a gambling one time down in Tunica. Ran into a guy sitting next to me. We get talking, and he was playing in a band there. And hi. Take care. He was really an excellent guitar player, and he played Frog Island a couple times, like Small World. This is, as I said, I think this is like 35 years old. I'll give you the name of it when I get outside. Hey Laura, how you doing? I'm like right across from the Ford plant, so I would be on the south side. It's really attractive looking. Look how long the trouble they went. This is all over water. I mean, there's no way anybody would pay for this now, so I'm glad it's still around. They obviously used woolmanized wood, which is held up great, but I did notice a couple areas where the boards are like missing, which should be a big problem. So either they're going to have to fix it or you'll see a closed sign someday because they just don't want to suffer the liability. We got a lot of bird houses and stuff around, ducks all over the place, like right here. Right there. Yeah, I don't know if I saw a couple guys fishing. Now this is the river that causes this water's from, is the Huron River, which is where I take Daisy. And as I said, I grew up on that river, and mud bottom, dark water, and the fishing's never really that great. And the argument that the DNR used to give us all the time was that a lot of things lived in darker water. The fish had a hard time seeing it. There was just plenty of things to eat, so they weren't as attracted to bait like, let's say, they would be in clear water. I mean, we caught fish, but nothing crazy. No, it's a great park. This is the first time I've ever been out here, although usually I'm out here in the late evening. The first time I've been out here, and I've seen people. There's a lot of people there. It's nice. Yeah. Hey. Hey, buddy. Hey, Adrian, how you doing? Yeah, Ford Lake, yep. Have you ever been out here? It's really nice. I don't have a leash for Daisy, so I didn't bring her, but I haven't been gone that long. I mean, you couldn't pass this up on a day like today. Oh, did you? Merganders are neat ducks. They sure will, can go through some fish, so I'll tell you. Same with the hingas and cormorants. They were thinking of opening a season up for a while on cormorants just because of them decimating the fish population. I had koi in a big pond in Florida, and I realized in no time how quick blue herons can clean out a pond. I mean, it seems like every time you look out there, they're just standing there. Yeah, well, I don't know whether it was bad timing or what, but they'll go through 50 pounds of baby fish in a week, and they'll eat every big one out of there in a month. See, here's what I mean, this kind of stuff. How you doing? A lot of very friendly people out here. Oh, thank you, Barry. Man, you never know. I mean, it's funny. Sometimes, like when I do that, you would think that I would realize by now what would be considered like a interview that was going to garner interest, and one that wouldn't. To be honest with you, I really don't. I never really know what to expect. YouTube's taught me a hell of a lot more. It proved to me that I really don't know what I'm doing. Hey. Yeah, I think so, Michael. I think you're right. Yep. Sure do. You can film me and I'll film you. The guy from the scooter is a hell of a good guy. That's another example. I mentioned it earlier on a live last night. You see these guys, and you know how traffic is if you're driving around, especially where you live. And I assumed that, riding around on one of those must be a nightmare with drivers cutting you off, blowing horns. He said the exact opposite. Not a problem at all. So, you get these preconceived notions based on what you've observed, and they're faulty sometimes. I was 100% wrong on that. Yeah, I left her in the van. I wanted to go out there and get some video, and I don't have a leash for her, which would be disastrous here. But I haven't been gone that long, and I'm going to take her to her favorite park. Yeah, it was pretty cool. He showed he could still stand. He's a hell of a good guy, man. Really, like, cool guy. Excuse me. I didn't want to scare you. Hi, man. Take care. Yeah, you'd think it, but according to this guy, it wasn't much of a problem, which is nice to hear.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, I agree, Barry. Wasn't that refreshing, man? Just talk about a nice kid. I mean, the whole time I was talking to him, it was like, man, this is like the ideal son. It's what everybody hopes for when they're having a baby. Yeah, he's a really neat kid. Yeah, refreshing is right. Oh, really? Yeah, that's probably good advice, yeah. Well, if you look at Jesse's brother, I mean, I don't know the details of that, but you know, when I go back there to photograph Lake Huron at that lake, Taos State Park, that's where it happened. And if you're looking around there, you wouldn't think anybody could hit there. There's nothing, no obstructed view, big giant wide crosswalk. It's all marked, low speeds. And who doesn't watch out for a kid on the bike? Oh, that's a big squirrel. That's a big squirrel. And that's a chipmunk making that noise. Yeah, it's too bad about Donovan. It's so sad. Yeah, you're right about that. High hooded. Yep, it's true. Oh, really, Tinkerbell? Huh? Yeah, he's a bright future. Yeah. Yeah, really good kid. And, you know, was very humble and is interested in helping other people to get where he's at. And I agree, refreshing. Well put. Hey, Kim. Yeah, I'm gonna head to Columbus in the morning. Yeah. Now I was thinking as I was walking down this trail, I may go right to Kentucky, because I expected, you know, I get a lot of emails. People, hi, hon. Hi, hon. Come on, I'm taking you to your favorite spot now. We're gonna party. Good, Shannon. How you doing? Yeah, I was going to go to Cincinnati afterwards. Yeah. I just got a call from a guy today I haven't talked to in like 5 years from Columbus. It's weird, isn't it, how stuff like that works? So I told her I'd give her the name. It said, "Do not touch the roses." The name of this park, which I don't know. It's North something. Hi, hon. Go ahead, jump over, honey. Atta girl. Good girl. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get on the expressway because it's backed up. So I'm going to cut down through here some way. What's the name of this damn place? Oh, it's called North Bay Park. There you go. Oh, and it's in Charter Township, Ypsilanti. North Bay Park, Charter Township, Ypsilanti. You know, I wonder why the traffic was so high here, and I know why now. People are going around that slow eastbound traffic. Now I'm going to upload a video later, no big deal. It's a very short video, but you know, I have videos of that abandoned Nike missile base down in Newport, Monroe Township, Monroe County. And boy, you're not getting in there anymore, not at all. It's all, a lot of it's been sold, rest of it's fenced. It's all placarded, no trespassing. Well, it looks like there's a car accident up here. There's a golf course right next to this place. When I was living up around here, there was nothing here. This was all woods. Why? It's already closed down. You can't get in there. So I already have videos uploaded. Even the park next door is closed down. Yeah, I mean, Ann Arbor has always been, but man, it sure seems like that. I mean, these shopping centers, none of this stuff was here. It's probably what every old person says when they go back to where they were 35 or 40 years ago. Yeah, I've got some videos on there, yeah. I mean, it looks like there's about like 200 acres, which would be on the east side, available, but it's very well posted, no trespassing. There's heavy equipment back there building something. And like I said, they shut down Nike Park as well. And they make no bones about it. They don't want anybody back there. I think I took those videos about 5 years ago, maybe 6. And I didn't get all of it. I didn't realize there was more to the east because it's heavily wooded. And I paid better attention when I was down there the other day. And I see what they're talking about now. I mean, it was kind of cool, but it wasn't like, you know, I was taking a selfie on top of a rocket. I think it's more thought-provoking than anything to think that something would be, 15 miles from where I grew up. I didn't know about it until somebody mentioned it to me, and then I drove down there. It's like, oh, this is pretty cool. And even before any of it was touched, there wasn't no trespassing signs. Yeah, I am married. Yep. Hey, Crystal, how you doing? Get a rock in the eye. This is all new development. When I was growing up, Belleville was like kind of iffy. And now I know 5 airline pilots that live at a Belleville mailing address. Same with Taylor. When I was growing up, Taylor was like, okay. But now I know 2 doctors that live in Taylor that drive to U of M every morning. So, Romulus as well. A lot of these areas have come up. They're nice. I went to get a Captain Nemo sub a couple days ago in Belleville, and it was a traffic jam over the bridge at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a weekday. I'm going to take Daisy to her favorite park. Yeah, you're right. Although Novi to me, Novi always seemed like it was like a little inching towards upper middle class. I know there were some rural areas, but in my lifetime, Ann Arbor and Novi was always pretty expensive. 77 to 79 in Brighton, where you headed west 96, that was just basically a fork in the road. Now that's mega developed. It's funny, I've seen Daisy around people. If you meet her a couple more times and you don't like force her. Yeah, I mean, I try and be nice to them. It's be nice. I mean, they're all fun to talk to. I think it's back on now. It should get better. Yeah, big time. They sure have, yeah. The only place that seems the same to me is Monroe. I'd take Daisy, run around a little bit. Yeah, you go, girl, hon. You're gonna get to go. Yeah, go bye-bye. I mean, even like Rawsonville right here, it's crazy how busy it is around here. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Lance, how you doing? Pretty good. I probably won't tonight because I don't get. If I do, it'll probably be at this park, because I don't get a good. I don't know whether it's the signal or what, crappy internet, but it just buffers so much. Nobody has a good time. I would have been on every night this week, but it's so frustrating when it's buffering everywhere. Yeah, weather's killer, yeah. Went out to Ann Arbor. I haven't been in Ann Arbor in a while. That's the first time I've been in a downtown where they've blocked off the downtown. And actually, after seeing it, it looks like a pretty good idea. People can walk down the road and the tables are spread out so people can eat. But for a nice day in Ann Arbor, it was very slow. I saw on the internet the other day that Ann Arbor's thinking about not having the students come back for the second semester. Remote learning. I mean, if you believe these numbers, you can't hardly blame them. I mean, it's almost like they have no choice. Hey, BMO, how you doing? I've used signal boosters in the past, but it's like you have to have a good signal to begin with, I thought. That you're not going to take like a crappy signal and make it better. You can get a good signal and make it as good a longer distance, but I think I'm at the end of the road with the signal in the room that I'm in. I've used them at home before. It's one of those deals I can't tell if it's helping or not. So, you know what I mean? I have one. I'm going to bring it with me next time, but I don't think under that scenario, it helps. It's like copying glass negatives and trying to print photos. The way the resolution is now, I mean, glass negatives were impressive, but you can't make the photo better than it was resolution-wise. I mean, you can do stuff with, Adobe and that kind of thing. Photoshop it. You know what I mean? You have to start out with something decent. Did you get the name of that park, Dolly? I got a shot of it. I was leaving. I think it was North Park, Ypsilanti Township. See, now here's that eastbound Huron River Drive detour. Huh. This is Belleville, which is really nice. Oh, were you able to save any of it, Dolly? On the veggie soup? Or did it all leak all over the place? Sorry about that. I'd mention it to him. Yeah, you're right, Lance. I'm afraid to look. Did anybody win the Lotto 47? Or the Powerball? I like Lost Souls. I think she's a good person. She's come a long way. She was a working girl on heroin. She's been on methadone 10 years, raising a family and doing well, and has got a good heart. So I'm 100% behind her. I mean, you know, anytime you go to a channel or whatever, everybody's got a different way of doing things. Honestly, I've never watched any of her interviews. I see them come up because I'm a subscriber. But, you know, it's all like, you know, your perception of things. I mean, how you like people to ask questions and stuff. So I'm sure it's fine. Oh, 2 people won it. What a drag. Split that. Somebody sent me a Gmail, and when I looked at it, it was like, you know, you might be right on that, but it didn't say Lotto 47, and it was not clear what it was referencing. No, somebody made some comments about Portland legalizing drugs. I see Ann Arbor just legalized something a month ago or so. Oh, they... Hey, Barium, have your taxes went up a lot over the years? I mean, they couldn't have went up too much because I think you've been there a while. But I mean, for as much as they could go up, have they maxed out what they could get you for? Is there buffering? See, I'm not getting any on my end. could be. I mean, Verizon's services went down big time. Thanks for sending her that. There were turtles out on logs out on Ford Lake today. I'm going to take Daisy running around a little bit more. Just crazy nice weather. That's really why I'm heading south instead of going home. It's just stupid to like blow this good weather up in West Branch. Yeah, you're probably right. How you doing? Intellectual. You'll hear bad things about it. There's a lot of cool towns around Gary too. Whiting, a little industrial town. Hammond. Highland. It's a cool area down there. Hey, yeah, man, how you doing? Excuse me. Hey, John. Yeah, man, a lot of people complain about getting subscribers taken away. Has that happened to you at all? YouTube just coming in, taking a couple hundred of them. Not for a while. I'm gonna head out of here tomorrow, so it'll be a while. I still have 2 big boxes of clothes. I mean, honestly, Southwest is dead. I mean, I was there a whole month Tuesday, and really don't have that much to show for it. I've had it happen before. Yeah, I have had it happen. But I think some of them, I know some of them are at least bots, and YouTube can go around. I guess there was a way at one time when you could buy subscribers. I don't know how you did that, but from what I can tell, you can't do it anymore. I don't know how you did it to begin with. These areas back here, I mean, I've been coming through here since a kid, and boy, they haven't changed at all back here. I mean, other than like in Ipsy Township where I just came from, these areas look just like they did 50 years ago. I mean, you know, maybe a couple more things, but still kind of rural, you know, old homes, big yards. Yeah, Lance, you know, I don't really follow that too much. Yeah, I've heard that. I don't really even know what YouTube TV is, to tell you the truth. They're always trying to give you like a free subscription. I mean, what is it? Is it like more channels, less, cheaper? I know it's streaming, but I don't know how it works. I just can my cable provider. I've tried Roku in the past. I had DirecTV, which was actually pretty good until you were freezing your ass off and you got 2 feet of snow and you had to go out and scrape the snow out of the ditch to finish watching your TV show. That didn't happen that much, but I got good reception. It just got crazy expensive and not many channels. It's alright, hon. It's okay. There's a trailer behind me making noise. Daisy's wondering what the hell it is. Yeah, I got a half slab of ribs at Satchel's. You know, I'm telling you, I think my days at Satchel's, you know, the one location went out of business. They were good today, not as good, and I just think 20 bucks for a half slab is getting a little crazy. And I don't really like their sides, but I don't really care about that much, so that may have been my last visit to Satchel's. And I really don't like getting good food to go. I just don't like it that much. I don't mind getting a hamburger or a pizza, but I'm not really into getting like a nice dinner to go and eating it out of a styrofoam cup in my van. You know, that's part of dining, is like enjoying it, bringing it to you. Hey Faye, how you doing? Oh, what happened to John Scott? No, I never been there. Nope. I never been to that Paisanos. I've been going to that Carreras or whatever it is. It's hard to read on the sign. It's right there, right at Hass and Telegraph on the side. I had lasagna from there and pizza, and it was excellent. Oh, okay, good for you, John. Okay, that's all you got. Yeah, I know Alex Trebek died. You know, I really felt bad about that. I really loved him in that role. He seemed like a good guy. Honestly, I was surprised he hung in there as long as he did and kept taping shows. If I ever get that diagnosis, you're going to find me dying on getting a lap dance at Deja Vu. I'm not going to be doing YouTube videos. Boy, they got big shoes to fill in covering him. I see that Ken Jennings went on and, you know, talked about Alex was just more than a great show commentator. And Ken Jennings had really talked a lot of shit about Alex at one time, so it just didn't wash. Either that or it isn't true. Yeah, you're right, Lance. Yeah, did it to the end. Yeah, he seemed like a good guy. Gave a lot of money away, and now all his 3 kids can fight over his estate. Did you guys follow any of that Casey Kasem stuff? I really couldn't figure out if the daughter was nuts or the wife was nuts. I didn't really follow it that carefully. But that was a big mess, too. You know, that bucket of Rusty Nails is excellent. Well, I think it's bucket of old Rusty Nails. That is excellent food. Beautiful place. Sit right there in the water. Super reasonable. That fish and chips, which is the best fish and chips I've ever had, it's $10 at all their locations for I don't know how long. It's only $14 normally. I mean, it's really, really good. Not greasy. Even the fries were good. Tartar sauce was like good. Yeah, man, I don't know if you ever eat that Lebanese food. There's a place on Warren just west of Telegraph. I don't. You think I'd know the names of these places? You know, I don't pay attention to that like I should. I go there. I like their food. I get something to eat, and if I like it, I go back. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't think of that as much as I should. I mean, I know how to get there. That's the important thing. But I think that's the best Lebanese food that I know of. Lashish went downhill. That outfit in Ann Arbor that took over their locations, I don't like that much. Andalus on North Telegraph changed owners. Just not that good. Yeah, Top 40. I used to love listening to Casey Kasem. Yep, sure did. Yeah, Michigan, yep. Yeah, I was in Ann Arbor today. Went downtown. I got some Satchel's ribs. And then I went and got a Kilwin's caramel apple downtown. I looked for some interviews around the old Deja Vu and then Ann Arbor, but nothing really seemed like right, you know? Probably missed the interview of my life, but I just didn't see anything that was worth approaching. Okay, hon. Thanks. I got you. Hi, hon. Big flock of geese coming by this way. I'm coming. I'm coming. She doesn't want to take off without me going with her. Yeah, Lake Station, yeah. Yeah, I used to stop by there once in a while when I first moved to Chicago. A buddy of mine and I. That was always such a weird area right near that building. Just looked like something you'd see on the first 48. I don't know if it's built up since then or not. I used to get pizza in Chesterton. Yeah, Monty Hall, that was good. See the geese? Ah, we go party now. Wow. It's cool out. It's getting pretty cool out. So that's why Davey's all fired up. Yeah, and wow. She wasn't running around like this earlier. It was warm here, even early in the, noon. Now, I don't know this for sure. I'm sure if you talk to a young guy, he'd dispute this, but to me it seems like strip clubs are dead. Yeah, she's a smart dog. She really is. I know everybody thinks their dog's the smartest dog in the world, but she is smart. She always wants to make sure that I go with her. It's kind of cute, really. When I go back to the hotel room, I'll put her in there sometimes and then take my camera equipment out. And she's always peeking through the door, making sure I'm not taking off. And if I leave her in the van, I can have her favorite Chewy toy in there in the world. And if I'm not in there, she's not eating it. She waits till I get back. She wants to guard that van. It's funny how her little mind works. I know she wanted to get a drink down here. Oh, they do, Cindy? Or they don't? I'm sure that's cut into it too. Probably right, Cindy. I told you that guy that runs the Red Roof Inn, he wanted me to go with him a couple months ago. I've never been so bored in my life. Anyway, when you take an old guy like me, and I'm thinking, if you wanted to set me up with a blind date to any of the women I saw in 3 of those bars that night, even my old ass wouldn't be interested. That's sad. Hey, Lana. This is so nice out here. See, now this is how I like these parks. Nobody here. Usually these cars you see parked, like that one over near mine, is somebody biking or jogging or something. But this is so nice out here. I'm so glad this outfit got this land, because I'd be standing in the middle of a mall that's going out of business or a subdivision if they didn't. This was some really forethought in doing this, and I thank them for it. It's just funny, you live long enough and you just see these huge changes. Like, I can remember going to Briarwood. I hitchhiked all over for a couple of years, down to Mexico, out to Seattle. And I went up to Campers World. I still have the receipt, 1975 in Briarwood. That was the closest place to Flat Rock where you could actually go in a store and find a tent and a sleeping bag and stuff. I loaded up, bought everything, and headed out about 3 days later. But Briarwood was like a creme de la creme mall, very nice. And now you go out there and it looks like something you'd see in Tijuana. Sears is out of business. Really, I hate to say this, but a lot of places are looking third world. I mean it. When you look at homeless and businesses, like today as an example, I've been down here a month driving all over hell, went out to Montana. I would say that I can't quantify this, but just throwing numbers out there. I'll bet this COVID's put 30% of these businesses out for good. This isn't a temporary closing. I'm talking about successful chains, businesses that have been around forever. They're just hanging on there in a shoestring. There isn't a restaurant in this world, unless you have crazy carryout, that can survive with 50% capacity on their busy days, Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Some of these kick-ass places, like Bangkok 96 as an example, they don't even bother to open Sunday anymore, and it's to-go only. Yeah, it really has. Somebody was on here the other day, and we were talking about Fox, the parts people in Ypsilanti and Belleville. And I was talking about the guy being a helicopter pilot. And I figured out later when I was dicking around Monroe the other day, going down to look at that Nike abandoned missile site, that I was wrong. The Fox guys, one of those kids got caught in robbing a bank, and they actually got away with it. But 2 clerks overheard them talking in Briarwood, and that's how the whole thing came undone. It was some relationship to those Fox guys somehow. I'm not implicating the parts operation, but the helicopter guy was actually a guy named Joe Satilli. Satilli's refuge, or not refuge, what do they call that? What do they call junk? Yeah, it was Satilli. He was the helicopter pilot from Monroe, different junkyard company. Yeah, and I think, I don't buy all my books. The rule of thumb I use at Barnes & Noble, if there's more than a $13 spread, I'll buy it on Amazon. If it's within $13, I'll buy it at Barnes & Noble. I don't buy everything there, but I do want to see them stay in business. Oh, that's a jogger over there. I do want them to stay in business. And if I don't buy anything there, that's not going to happen. But I think they're barely hanging, and they really got screwed on that COVID thing too. Oh, really, John? I was thinking of that driving today. I rode freight trains everywhere. And when's the last time you saw an open door in a freight car? Plus, they're all configured differently now. It's not like the old brown, big, giant boxcar with open doors. I don't even see those kind anymore. It's either cars or chemicals. Oh, did it really? Yeah, you can't beat eBay though for books, believe me. I'm telling you, man. I've tried them all. Go on eBay and type in whatever book you're interested in. It's going to blow your mind how cheap you can get them. And here's why it happens. There's a word for it, and I can't think of what the name of it. It's deascension or something like that. It's a word where libraries and universities purge their inventory. You know, you don't want the same books on the shelves for 50 years, right? And there are companies that specialize in getting all these books, and these are the ones that offer the deals, and they do everything by volume. And it's crazy how cheap you can get good books on eBay. The place I use is Better World Books. I use the one in Mishawaka, Indiana, but there's another one out in Las Vegas. I mean, I get these kick-ass hardcover books for $5 all day long, free shipping. You can't beat it. Hey, 82. But I still do things from Amazon occasionally. It's crazy, some of the books, how expensive things are. I'll give you an example. Let's take for an example the Ecology of Carp, which you think that's an expensive book. And the reason for that is there aren't that many people that are buying them. Even used, it's $129. Another books that are really expensive are petroleum, like lubricants. When you talk about oil or titanium manufacturing or something like that, they're crazy expensive. There's just certain products, anything about the petroleum industry that's recent, it's just nuts what they charge for it. And that's because, somebody's got to pay the nut on this. And when you're only selling, 8,000 copies to universities, yeah, yep, Lonnie, you know what I'm talking about. But some books, you just have to do that sometimes. Like the Ecology of Carp, believe it or not, would interest me because, I caught carp my whole life growing up, and, they're everywhere. And look at those Asian carp. They haven't been talking about that too much. They were really worried about them infiltrating and ruining the Great Lakes, but I haven't really heard a peep of that. And they were a big problem in the Des Plaines River for a while in Illinois. They jump out. People got killed by them jumping out of the water. It's the frequency of the prop. And evidently you can't, their lips are too soft and you can't catch them on a pole, so you gotta electrocute them or net them. Yeah, well, you can forget about boycotting China now with Biden getting in. Matter of fact, I suggest you get the Berlitz language course on Chinese so you can order at a restaurant in a couple years. Yeah, well, sturgeon had been in the Detroit River and up in Lake St. Clair for quite a while. St. Mary's River, they got some pretty extensive programs. It's a beautiful fish. Yeah, I don't hunt or fish anymore. I wouldn't enjoy it. I mean, I still eat both of them. But I don't have fun catching them. No kidding, huh? Well, for a while you could catch them. They're in other rivers in Michigan. I know they have some programs. If you guys are from Michigan, I don't know how much you're into hunting and fishing. Do you remember a lady that used to write for the Free Press? I used to argue with her all the time. Lydia Lohrer, Lohrer. And then it kind of got good, and then it was like, civil communication. And my argument was always that the animals were on the defensive, and that if they weren't and they had an offense, that she wouldn't hunt. That's how the argument started. Well, last I heard from her, it's about a year and a half ago, and she told me her Free Press editor was 25 years old and she didn't expect to be around longer. And about a month after that, I was in Home Depot up in West Branch, and guess who I recognized from the thumbnail and the articles? Lydia Lohrer. So I walked up to her and I said, Lydia, how you doing? She said, who are you? It's like Tom Reed. She said, you have got to be kidding. She said, Tom, how you doing? It was all, we had a nice chat actually, but it just goes to show you the small world. I'll tell you, I've mentioned this before too. Rochelle Riley, who I get along with okay now. I've had my arguments with her too. She got a good job at the Free Press. And Stephen Henderson, who I want to say I don't get along with. I think he really got shafted. You know, we had some heated conversations via email, and before they fired him for that sexual harassment, a law firm called me, wanted to depose me about some of the things he said to me in some emails, and I told them to shove it up their ass. I don't really like the guy, but you're not getting any help from me. And even though I don't like him, it has nothing to do. I think he really got screwed there. They were looking to unload a big salary, and they hung their hat on this sexual advance bullshit, which the lady didn't even have a problem with. It was all heard third party through a local Detroit preacher. But, you know, when you look at the fine print and these guidelines now, I mean, if you say you look nice today, you stand a chance of getting canned. And they got a chance to stick it in his ass, and they did it. But I wasn't going to dot any I's for him. Yeah, I agree, Cindy. It's like a Jerry Springer show. I mean, if you look back 30 years ago when people were running for office, if you'd have done like 1% of any of this, if you'd have got caught plagiarizing like Biden did, or lying about going to a college, you know, game over. Or Trump with prostitutes and income tax returns, it was game over. Not anymore. Wow, hon. Wow. I mean, it is embarrassing. I would agree with you. Wow, hon. Wow. Wow. You feeling good? Yeah, Daisy's thanking me for this cool night. Oh, I know it. Yep. Yeah, that's a good question. Half the piss, that's exactly it. Half the country's pissed no matter what. You got that? I tell people all the time, I'm glad I'm not young starting out. Shit, I'd have probably lived in a damn, I don't know what. Hopefully I would have married someone who's, my in-laws would have had a place to stay, because I just can't imagine in this day and age driving a decent car, which, as you know, doesn't interest me. But when you're young, it does. When I was young, this stuff was all important. But at this stage of the game, it's not. But how do you afford a decent car, go to a decent school, buy a house with what they're paying nowadays, and go out to eat, have a movie? I mean, I don't really pay attention to price too much. But man, when I go out, like, even if I went, like, I got some deodorant, toothpaste, some dental floss the other day and stuff, my bill was like $52 or something. It's like, you gotta be kidding me, man. Then I go in like Walmart or something, which I hardly do anymore because it's such a nightmare. And I'm thinking, I'd love to know, how are these people affording all this stuff? I mean, if I splurge like buying a bunch of groceries, it's like $130, and I think, this is just for me and it's nothing. I mean, you're looking at, like, now you look at peanuts, cashews, like they were always more, or pistachios, but it's like, yeah, you know, it's good. I work some overtime, you know, I'm not a alcoholic. I think I'll buy a big can of cashews. Now you look there, a can of cashews, the good ones, the full cashew instead of this pieces and halves and fragments, whatever else they call it. It's like $23 for a can of cashews. It's like, you gotta be kidding, man. I mean, I'm paying a 4-pack of beer $16.99 for Dragon's Milk. It's nuts. But I look at it as good beer, and it dulls the pain of reality. I hate to say it. And I'm not going to get carpal tunnel because I can drink 2 instead of drinking 6. So, you know, if you're looking at the effect, I don't think Dragon's Milk's expensive at all. Yeah, cash. Oh, yeah, nuts are expensive as hell. All that stuff. It's like you go into like to go to a good meat store. and see what meat is. See, if you pay attention now, you know, I read a book on meat, but I always like obsess about shit. So I shouldn't know as much as I do, but I just get crazy about finding out about things. And a lot of these butchers now, if you don't know about meat, you're getting meat like at, let's say, Save-A-Lot. That's not even select. It's not even graded. It's like the worst cut possible. It's cows finished off on God knows what. It's just the crappiest meat ever. Now, if you're making shredded pork or tacos, you can get away with it. Seasoning, grinding it up. That's why you look at how many dishes now places are ground this or ground that. That's because like a solid lamb chop is super expensive. By the way, that Arabic or that Middle Eastern place that I was talking about on Warren, their lamb chops are only like $26, which is a deal. Yeah, it's beer aged in bourbon. I'll buy a 4-pack of it if you want. I mean, I'm not trying to get you to drink again. Do you think you could control it if you just popped one open and have it? It's just, yeah, this is what I do. I drink once in a blue moon, I'll drink 3. But usually it's only 2. And sometimes, like if I'm tired, it's only 1. Yeah. But it is 11% alcohol. Now, I just bought the Solera or whatever the new one is, and it sucks. I could be wrong. You know, a lot of things happen with how your body metabolizes stuff. I could give you a dragon's milk, and you could drink all 4, and you could say, well, I can feel it, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. Where with me, I wouldn't drive with just 1 dragon's milk. I'm not saying I'm falling over and breaking my toes on the TV stand, but I can tell I've been drinking with just 1. And 2, I just wouldn't drive. You know, and it's just, I like the taste of it. But I think, at least to me, dragon's milk seems stronger than 11%. Because I know that I could put away a bottle of wine dicking around the internet or having a nice chat, no problem. And that's 12%, and that's much more volume of alcohol. So how I would feel this way with 1 dragon's milk, maybe it's just the way I metabolize it, you know? No, it doesn't taste like... No. It's hard to describe. I can tell you this. I was thinking of this morning for some odd reason. And that is that, to me, it's like, you know, alcohol. You drink, get a little buzz, right? I mean, if beer tastes so great, why aren't people drinking more non-alcoholic beer? I'll tell you why, because it sucks. You get a taste that you can tolerate. And this dragon milk just tastes like perfect to me. I just love sipping a dragon's milk. I don't care if it's warm, cold, frozen, boiling. It's just like the perfect beer. I've tried others, imposters. There's an Expedition Stout that Bell's makes that's close. And you actually get 6 instead of 4, and it's $4 cheaper. But I can never get it anywhere long. You'll go to a place, you get it. Go to a place, get it, then they have it. It's like, how come you don't have any Expedition Stout? Well, I'll talk to Johnny Jackoff. You know, he didn't show up last week, and you never get a straight answer. All I know is it's not there anymore. The place that I get my dragon's milk, they were out of it last week, so I ended up getting bent over on a place up the street for even worse. But when it comes to something that good, I'll get it wherever I can. I mean, I enjoy it that much. I do like, you know, the peaty liquors or peaty scotches, but it isn't like a dragon's milk for me. Really love it. Yeah. Hey, Gary. Yeah, I mean, if you'd have told me 20 years ago that I'd be paying $20 for 4 beers, I'd have told you you're out of your mind. Yeah, I don't make claims like that anymore because I've seen what's happened these last 15 years. If you'd have told me I would ever drive a car with 400,000 miles, I wouldn't have believed it. And I was thinking, you know, I was coming back to these parks when I was like 15 years old. I would get a bike and I would tow this little trailer and I'd come back and I'd feed birds. Isn't that nuts? I felt like sorry for the birds in the winter. I didn't know that much about them then. And I'd feed birds. And here, over 50 years later, and I'm still here. at the same park, but I'm not feeding the birds. But it's funny, you know, some things you just don't change. Crazy. Yeah, I'm in Michigan, man. It was this. I think this had to have been a record today. It was a record yesterday, and it wasn't supposed to be. It was 72, I think, in Toledo, and 70 in Michigan, Detroit. And tomorrow's going to be 74 here in Detroit. It's nuts, man. I don't have a coat on. Oh, you have one, you lucky dog, John? Oh, 67. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's surprising that, you know, I never thought I'd live this long. I can remember sitting in the 6th grade looking out the window thinking, man, am I ever going to get out of school? I mean, 6 years seemed like you couldn't even quantify it in your mind as a little kid. Here, all these years just got by me, which I'm cool with. You know, I remember like a long time ago, people were always wishing they lived longer. Man, not me. I mean, I don't hope I drop dead tomorrow, but I don't want to be one of these 100-year-old people with a nurse's aide making it look like I'm waving by wiggling my elbow as we're driving down the street in a parade. No thanks. Oh, what kind of temperatures you getting out there, Mary? What kind of temperatures you getting out there? Yeah, those winds are crazy out there. Such a great night out. Who taking a swoop? Yeah, I'm gonna head south tomorrow. I'm gonna get up and hit the highway. Oh yeah, she is a fearless dog. Daisy can clamp the hell down, I'm not kidding you. Hey Eric, how you doing? A lot of stars out tonight. See the stars? Oh, thank you, Mike. Seen Mary around lately. Yeah, you don't happen to live in Vermont, do you? The White Mountains? Maybe it is Massachusetts. Is it Massachusetts or Vermont? Oh, okay, Carrie. I'm just out here decking around, walking Daisy, because it's nice and cool. Hi, hon. Hi, honey. You know, one day I was standing here about 20 years ago, right where I'm at, right around here, and you see that hill right there? A doe and a fawn came running over that hill like doing 100 miles an hour. And they ran right towards me. Like I thought it was the mother was like thinking I was doing something. I was going to run over me or something. Ran about 2 foot next to me and just kept running around all the way in a big circle until they were out of sight. It was weird. Yeah, it's the record wind, I know. The White Mountains. Yeah. I think it's Vermont though. Could be Massachusetts, but I think Vermont. That's where the record winds are. You know, it's surprising when you look up weather records. You know, everybody's talking about global warming, it's colder than it should be, it's hotter than it should be, blah, blah, blah. Look up the records in the area you live in and go back as far as you can to like 1880 or whatever. You'll be surprised on some of the temperatures that you know weren't for the same reasons, if there are any, on the extremes that we get now. Couldn't have been. It wasn't global warming, it wasn't hairspray, it wasn't fossil fuels. And they still had these crazy swings. So you really don't know what to believe. It's not like it never happened before. Yeah, no, there's no way I could drink 6, you know. Yeah, but I've never seen him run out in the open like that. And there was no buck around. And she already had a fawn. Breeding season was long over. This was in the spring. Hey Daisy, how you feeling? Hey Mary, how you feeling, Daisy? And what were you in there? How'd that whole thing pan out? Oh, New Hampshire. Okay, okay, so it wasn't either one of those. Okay, yeah, okay, Mount Washington. Yeah, you're right. Yep, yep, she's here. Yeah. Yeah, New Hampshire. Okay. Oh, it sounded like it. Go. How you doing now? Like a 10 being the worst. Where you at now? Where you at now? I mean, you're on the internet and you're talking, so I'm assuming you approved. Come on, Dazer. Yeah, you're right, John. Yeah, that's what happens when I drink 3. That's why I don't. $212. Wow. No kidding, Lance. Oh my God, respiratory arrest. So what's their prognosis now? Everything looking good? The stars. These stars out tonight. Over there too. Yeah, I think so too, John. Yep. That Lonely Walk, you're right. Yeah, don't waste your money on that new Solera or whatever they call it. Sucks. Tastes like a Budweiser. Not even close. It's their version of an ale. But, you know, I'm sure people that, like me, that drink Dragon's Milk thought they'd give it a try. Well, I guarantee you that thing isn't going to sell well. Yeah, that could be. Do you use Humira or Enbrel? Either one of those, John? Oh, good for you. You know, you gotta watch those gummies, man. You know, there's always a chance they can cause a panic attack. There's a lot of people that go to the emergency room after overdoing it on a gummy. You'd have to smoke like a Cheech and Chong to do it smoking, but a gummy, no problem. No, Rising Sun, nope. Oh, can you, Lance? That's kind of cool. That's one cool thing when you're out west. You can see the mountains tops. Even when I was out there in early September, a glacier, there was snow on top of the mountains, and it just seems so like cool. Here it is, a warm day, and there's snow on the top of these mountains. They shut down going to the Sudrome while I was there. Yeah, see, Amy, that can happen. Yep. That happened to a hotel clerk I know. Well, I don't think they do a very good job of warning you. You're thinking all you hear is gummies are legal. You can buy gummies. You ought to try a gummy, and they look like candy. And they got the kid-proof pack. That's why they don't want a kid taking one and getting sued. But they could do a better job of alerting the adults on what too much THC on somebody that hasn't used it can do. No kidding, Vern. Wow. Not much airplane activity tonight. Tons of motorcycles out. And when I was down in Toledo, tons of boats. You'd think people would have their boats winterized. Up on blocks, but I guess not. Oh, that's a long time, Amy. Wow. Hey, Terry, how you doing? Well, I just got the 15% power notice. So when the old timer light goes on, it's not a temporary buffer. I'll try and get on later tonight in the hotel. But that hasn't been working so hot lately, which is why I'm doing more of these. It's crazy how time flies. I started this chat after I actually did a 4K video of that park, and here it's been an hour and 37 minutes. It's crazy how time flies talking. I'm out at Willow Park. I can get you a shot at Daisy. Come on over here, Daisy. Daisy's loving this, nice and cool. Daisy absolutely hates heat. Daisy, I'm not kidding you, man. She'll come over and get me if it's too hot. I sleep upstairs. I'm gonna change that this winter because it just gets too hot in there in the winter. And then you open a window and it's drafty. I'm gonna move a bedroom and make the upstairs all office and library. But Daisy will come get me if she's too hot. I know what that means. It means turn this damn heat off and open that window up all the way or give me a haircut. I'm not that excited, to tell you the truth. I've been on the road a month. And, I've been in a little funk, for quite a while now. And so, to answer you honestly, not really. I mean, I'm going to do it, but I wasn't even as excited as I should have been heading out west. Maybe it's just getting old. but I'm going to do it anyway. And you never know, you know, I've got this idea in my mind of what it's going to be like when I get down there. I mean, there's a chance it's 420 miles. I could get down there, check in some dump. There's places they don't even have internet down there. I checked the lodging and there's no decent places where I want to go. There's a chance they may not have an internet. No good place to eat. No place to take Daisy. And I run around and everybody tells me to get lost. So you don't know until you get there. But that's kind of the exciting part. But I'd rather have some place where things work out. Daisy, come over here, hon. Daisy wants to see you. Daisy, come over here. Daisy wants to get a good look at you. You come over here closer? Come over here. Come over here. Come on. Daisy wants to get a better look at you. Yeah, it's funny, that steak. I thought about that. Actually, I looked Antler up on the internet last night. I thought, you know what, I'd have just head out of there Christmas, go out to Antler, but it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, when those speeds are that high, 80 miles an hour, on 2-lane roads, and you never know, you can get blitzed with snow. They don't really get crazy snow there like you'd think. They do get it, but it'd just be stupid to spend that kind of time and effort just to go out there and get a steak. But I've been known to do dumber things. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. It's definitely a cool area, though. But a lot of times, like when I'm sitting around drinking a dragon's milk last night, and I'm thinking about Antler, I guarantee you, I think about Antler in a better frame of mind than I was when I was there. It's weird. Things seem better sometimes after you've experienced them. I think it's like a fault in memory. You know, Antler was cool. I liked it, but is it worth going out there and back to eat a steak dinner? Probably not. But it wouldn't keep me from doing it. Good, Marie. How you doing? Antler is calling, you're right. Hey, by the way, I watched that movie. I never watch movies from beginning to end, but I just happened to catch it when I went to upload some videos. Watch that Richard Jewell. Excellent movie. That guy happens to be from Saginaw, the actor, the main actor. I thought it was Richard Jewell when I saw it, and it's like, I thought this guy was dead. And then I realized it's a movie. I Googled it, and it was Clint Eastwood's worst movie debut. But man, I thought they nailed it. It's a beautiful movie. Dragon's Milk is beer. Yep. Wow. Yeah, it was cool, wasn't it, Rising Sun? Yeah, Richard Jewell, really good. It was on HBO a couple days ago. Really good. Yeah, actually, I see they have on the marquee out here, they're going to have a big bonfire. Well, I just got the 5% battery notice, so I think I'm going to sign off so you don't get cut off in the middle of a comment you want to make. I'll try and get on later, you guys. Thanks for being around. And I'll try and get on later. You think you'd do it, Intellectual? We'll give it a try then. Sounds good to me. We can like go all night long driving. All right, Carrie. Yeah, you guys too.